Everything you want to know about Cane Bay Plantation in just 20 minutes. Let's go. Welcome to Berkeley County, the second fastest growing county in all of South Carolina. And today we're exploring Cane Bay Plantation, the fourth best-selling master plan community in the country. Yes, I said that right. The fourth best-selling master plan community in the country, spanning over 4,500 acres with over 20 distinct neighborhoods. This mature community has something for everyone. Let's dive in and check it out. All right, diving right into the location of Cane Bay. Cane Bay is located in Summerville, South Carolina, in the 29486 zip code on the far northeastern side near Nexton. It's about 10 to 15 minutes from historic downtown Summerville, in just a 45-minute drive to historic Charleston. One of the key benefits of living in Cane Bay is the proximity to major highways, making it convenient commute to different parts of Charleston metropolitan area and Ridgeville and some of the surrounding more commercial areas as well. Now let's talk about the neighborhoods of Cane Bay. Cane Bay is an absolutely massive, I mean massive area. It's crazy, like 9 years ago, seeing Cane Bay as it was, and it like literally went up to Del Webb and it stopped. Like the road just stopped. Like you couldn't go past Del Webb at one point in time. And now we have over 20 individual neighborhoods. Each neighborhood has its own unique charm because, well, it has its own amenities. So you're not battling with thousands of people trying to use one or two amenity centers. You have a different amenity center for each subsection. So if that subsection has 400 homes, those 400 homes utilize that subsection, that neighborhood pool. You wouldn't go and use the neighborhood next to you's pool, you'd use your own amenities. So make sure, obviously, if you're looking in Cane Bay, that you like the amenities that are offered in that community, because each neighborhood is going to have its own unique charm and style. So if you're somebody who likes fields or common space, well, look for a neighborhood that offers that, because there's just about something for everyone in this neighborhood. So let's take a little bit look closer at these neighborhoods. Now, right out of the gate, you have Magnolia. This is the original OG besides Old Rice Retreat. Magnolia is known for its absolute picturesque landscapes. Some of the homes there do really intricate landscaping. Back when landscaping, you could get somebody out there and do a beautiful setup and it cost almost little to nothing. Now, you know, it might be a little bit more difficult or costly, depends on how big of a landscape job you really want to do. But it is a very family-friendly environment because of its proximity to the schools, okay? You're less than a quarter of a mile to the schools, the elementary school, the middle school, and the high school. And the best part is it's all golf cartable. So you can take your golf cart trail right to the school. And a lot of people do like that about Magnolia. Now, let's talk about Old Rice Retreat. I did mention that. It's another original OG neighborhood. It offers a very blend of traditional and modern homes. I actually really do enjoy a lot of the homes in Old Rice Retreat because of the size. You can find 5-6 bedroom homes in there. My only drawback with this neighborhood is because it is the one of the oldest neighborhoods in the neighborhood, the homes tend to show that age. They tend to show the wear and tear. So you may have to go in there and do some updating, some flooring, remove carpet, paint, maybe touch up drywall. Generally, when I walk through these homes, you can tell they've been lived in, especially if they have little ones or large families. You know, you do have a lot of multi-family living situations. So maybe somebody lived upstairs that wasn't as clean as the people that lived downstairs. It just happened. Jumping into the Oaks, a very serene Beezer neighborhood. Yeah, the Oaks was actually built by a builder called Beezer. They're a very energy efficient builder. They still build here in Cane Bay. They're actually going to be closing out of their neighborhood. They only have a few lots left. They're in Jasmine Point right now. But this is a neighborhood with large oak trees and spacious lots. Some of the lots in there are 1/4 of an acre, 0.33, and the home sizes are pretty good. I mean, I've seen some 5 and 6 bedroom homes in this neighborhood. I've also seen 3, 2.5. So they have a little bit of everything in the Oaks. I like it. I would say some of the people who live in the Oaks probably don't like trying to turn out of their neighborhood, because you have 2 of the busiest neighborhoods across the street from them making rights and people turning left into there. So it can get quite frustrating if you live in the Oaks, because you have to make a left onto Cane Bay Boulevard. Just something to be aware of. It's not a deal killer by any means. It's just, you know, I've gotten that feedback from some residents. Now, let's talk about Sanctuary Cove. Oh, this one's a fun one. So this neighborhood is ideal for anyone who is just looking to find some different style homes. Sanctuary Cove has had 3 different builders building in here. Originally, they had Sable. Sable was the builder in here. Then it quickly changed from Sable to Landmark 24. Sable was bought out by Toll Brothers. Toll Brothers acquired Sable, and then you had Landmark 24 come in and build a couple of streets. They then sold off the rest of the lots of Sanctuary Cove to Centex. Then you had Landmark 24 then sell off the remainder of their lots to Centex. So now you have Centex homes. So you have 3 different style homes in one neighborhood. That's why I said it's kind of a fun neighborhood. And also they have one of the, I'd say, smaller amenity centers out of the entire neighborhood. So what had happened was a few years back, Sanctuary Cove residents were like, hey, when are we getting our amenity center? This has now changed hands 3 times. What's going on? So a lot of the residents had a push for the developer to come in and say, hey, they're right. They were promised an amenity center. We need to get that put in. But unfortunately, I'm sure you can imagine, they did it cost effectively, and they put in one of the smallest play parks you could even imagine. Like it's laughable in comparison to like Old Rice Retreats or Pine Hills or Woodwinds. When you look at their play parks, guys, this is crappy. Now, Lindera Preserve. Oh, the biggest neighborhood in all of Cane Bay. Going on 1,800 plus houses, this neighborhood features a mix of single family homes, but not only do you have single family homes, but you have multi-family homes. You have their next gen product in here as well. So if you're somebody that has aunts, uncles, grandmas, grandpas, moms, dads, somebody moving with you, it doesn't matter. They do have that in there. It is a Lennar neighborhood, so it's something to be considered of. The builder, make sure you get those home inspections and things like that. But if you reach out to me, I'm gonna help you with this whole process. You're not gonna have to worry about it. So yeah, we'll take good care of you. The next neighborhood up is the Hammocks. Now, this is a Crescent neighborhood. Crescent now is called American Home Finders, American Home Dream Finders. I'm sure I screwed that up, but that's okay. Their new company is a Home Dreamer Finders. Anyways, the Hammocks, they've now gone from Crescent to that, but it's known for its really true resort style feel. They have 2 amenity centers in this neighborhood. They have a front one and a back one. The back one is a little bit newer and larger. It's a really beautiful neighborhood. You've got a lot of larger lot homes in there and big 3-car garage homes. You've got bigger driveways. The driveways tend to be a little bit larger in this neighborhood. So if you're somebody that's like, hey, Ryan, we bring in a couple of classic cars, we're bringing my truck, we need the space. Hammocks might be something to consider, especially from a pre-owned standpoint. Now jumping into Pine Crest. Yes. So a newer development that kind of went in a different direction. I'm going to talk about that. So Pine Crest used to be a neighborhood that Kay Hovnanian built. Okay, they were the developer for Pine Crest. They went ahead and said, hey, we have all these lots, we have all these homes, we're going to sell these homes, they're going to be affordable. And they were. And boy, some of the stuff they were putting in these houses were great. I had a client get a home, a 4-bedroom home, 2.5 bath, 2,100 square feet, and they got it for $309 plus some closing costs as well. And it came with the fridge, it came with the oven, it came with a washer and dryer. So, I mean, they really made out on this deal. And I really thought Kay Hovnanian were gonna sell the whole neighborhood out in a couple of weeks, and that's kind of what it looked like. until some investor came in and says, hey, we're going to buy up the rest. You build the rest of the homes. You build these 4-bedroom products. We're going to come in and we are going to buy it all. We're going to buy everything. We're going to buy it and we're going to turn it into a for-rent product. So now you have 100 people who have purchased into Pinecrest, and now you have a property management company coming in, buying out the remainder of the homes and turning it into a for-rent product. So if you're looking for a rental, Pinecrest might be the neighborhood for you. Next up, right across the street from Pinecrest, though, we have Pine Hills, which is still selling houses, believe it or not. They offer affordable housing options, generally for first-time home buyers, empty nesters. If you're looking to move here, and let's say, hey, I don't have perfect credit, I don't have a ton of money to put down. Maybe I am a first-time home buyer. I don't want to rent anymore. I don't want to pay somebody else's mortgage. I hear all the things on Facebook telling me I got to buy a home, and that's what I want to do. Well, great news, we have an option for you. Pine Hills is a D.R. Horton community, but D.R. Horton isn't just a builder. They're a bank, they're an insurance company, and they also can help you rebuild or repair your credit. And they can do it while you're under contract on a home, which means you can lock into some fantastic incentives. I can help you negotiate a move-in ready package. And on top of it, Pine Hills is going to buy down your interest rates. So somebody that's looking at the interest rates and they're renting, they're going, well, I don't have to buy because I'm not going to spend 7%. Well, you're not going to have to. They have rate buy downs right now as low as 4.99%. And let me tell you, that is more money in your pocket. Plus, they're going to pay your closing costs. So how much is this all going to cost you? Very little. And D.R. Horton is one of the few builders amongst a lot of builders who are still going to be covering buyer agent compensation. So that's something that you're not going to have to worry about when it comes time to buy a home. Now, moving on, let's talk about Pender Woods. Pender Woods is a charming neighborhood. It is, again, a more economical option if you're looking for a home that it's not going to be crazy expensive. We're talking low 300s. This neighborhood, they didn't put a ton of crazy upgrades in these houses. This is actually an Ashton Woods neighborhood called Starlight Homes. So if you've never heard of Starlight, they're a Ashton Woods sub brand. And what you should know is that the quality, not that the quality isn't good, it's just the items that they're putting in these houses are totally builder grade. It's much more builder grade. It's not going to be, high-end granite or high-end quartz, things like that. Not saying it's a bad product. I think there's price points that are reflective of everybody's budget and what they're looking for. Sometimes it's more about square footage than it is about how many kitchen cabinets I have. So I totally get that. All right, moving down the list, we have Cane Ridge. Cane Ridge was a D.R. Horton community. One of the cool parts was a little pocket community, didn't have an amenity center, but had lots big enough for you to put an amenity center in, that's for sure. So Cane Ridge was a neighborhood that is connected now to Pine Hills. So if you live in Cane Ridge, you actually use Pine Hills amenities. So that's pretty great. If you're someone that's like, hey, Ryan, I want to still be able to have access to a pool even though it's not in my neighborhood, well, great news. You're going to go right down the street to Pine Hills and be able to use that. Use the walking trails. That's one of the beautiful parts of Cane Ridge is you do have the walking trails right there. And right outside Cane Ridge, we have Woodwinds. This neighborhood, again, it's an Ashton Woods neighborhood. A lot of beautiful plants. You have the President Series in this neighborhood. So again, we're talking vaulted ceilings, gourmet kitchens, oversized master bedrooms, huge showers, tiled showers. So a lot of nice upgrades and 3-car garages in this neighborhood. So be sure to check out Woodwinds. It is all pre-owned at this point. Ashton Woods is no longer in there selling, but it is something for you to consider if you are looking for a larger size home with a 3-car option. Now, let's talk about Lockton. Lockton is one of my favorite neighborhoods. It's a more upscale neighborhood with luxury style homes. we're talking the Webster, we're talking the Warwick, and you can still build in there at the time of this video. So I think that right there is pretty amazing. We're talking price points of mid-5s. Depends on how bougie you go. You know, if you deck it out with every option they have, you could definitely get over 6 in that neighborhood. But you're gonna be on water lots. They have some great water lots still available. They have wooded lots as well that back up to the golf cart trail. So if you're somebody that's like, hey, I wanna park my golf cart right outside my double gated fence and then boop, hop right onto the trail, go to my friend's house, you can do that. I always think of the scene where Batman's coming back to his lair and he just kind of flies in off the road and just cuts through the rock and just disappears. That's kind of what you can be if you're on the golf cart trail and you just want to swerve off and pull into your double gated fence area in your backyard. It'd be kind of cool. Yeah, that's fine. I'll live my dreams of being Batman one day somewhere else. That's okay. You guys don't want to hear about it. But getting back, Lockton is a neighborhood that was built by McHugh. McHugh Homes is one of my favorite builders just because of the style and quality of the things aesthetically they're putting in their homes. They're doing more high-end appliances, counters, cabinets. They're putting things in these houses that a lot of builders, even the last couple of years, have said, hey, nope, we're not making any more changes, no options, nothing. Lockton, if they got a home that they just spec'd out and they just permitted, if you come in and are like, oh my God, I love this floor plan, I'm not crazy about these options, there might be time for you still to make options. Again, it depends on where we're at in the process, but I always tell everybody, it doesn't hurt to ask, right? And they're a builder willing to work with you. So high five to McHugh, love you guys, great job on that. Moving on to Westlake. Love Westlake. This neighborhood features larger homes with modern amenities. So we're talking everything between 2,200 square feet all the way up to 4,040 square feet. Yeah, we're talking some big houses in Westlake. But they have modern amenities. They have the clubhouse right there on the leg of the lake that looks down the long way of the lake, which is beautiful. They have a fishing dock there. You can launch a kayak, canoe, paddleboard. If you live on the leg of the lake, you can launch it right from the back of your house. I mean, this is lake life living, but without that lake life price tag. Do you know what I mean? I mean, they have some beautiful neighborhoods, Hardy Plank. One of the big features at the end of the neighborhood, they actually have a private dock. So if you have a boat that has a trolling motor, you can definitely launch that in the water and go down. Anything with a trolling motor, kayak, canoe, paddleboard, and you'll see people in the lake system paddleboarding, kayaking all the time, especially around sunset. It gets really beautiful. And yeah, so people always ask, you have to worry about alligators. Look out for them, but they're not coming that far out to the water to get you. They're more afraid of you than you are of them. Moving on to across the street, we have Meridian. Now, Meridian is a former D.R. Horton community as well. They do have a mix of townhomes and single-family detached, have very similar amenities to Westlake, but the one thing I will tell you about Meridian is that the homes in there are not the Emerald style homes that they built in Westlake. They're what are called their Horton series homes. So not as much crown molding. Still, you get really nice features in the houses, granite countertops, Aristocraft cabinets, and some other great options in their homes. But you're just not getting the Hardy Plank siding. You're not getting the 3-car garage. I mean, they do have some 3-car options in Meridian, but not as many as they do in Westlake. So just something to be aware of. And you're right on the trail system there, and that neighborhood has a beautiful entranceway. They have a fountain. It looks really beautiful at night. So it's definitely a neighborhood I would check out from a pre-owned standpoint. Now, let's talk about Waterside. This is another Lennar community. Waterside is known for its waterfront homes and recreational facilities because they have an amenity center like you wouldn't believe. They have a huge style, kind of lagoon style pool along with a really great play set area for the kids. It's actually a Boeing airplane in a big wood set. It's really cool. You have to check it out. And not only do you, much like Westlake, you do have some great waterfront home options which allow you to use and have access to the lake. Now, jumping across the street from Waterside, Guys, I told you there's 20 neighborhoods. We have Jasmine Point, a newer neighborhood with modern homes and amenities, and it was built by Beazer, so energy efficiency is huge. You're talking gas, water, electric. We're talking $98, $102 a month, guys. That's it. And then, you know, it's just a beautiful neighborhood. They have some beautiful colors in there. They have a mix of hardy plank and vinyl siding, and they do only have a few options left to build. So if you wanted to build in there, definitely be sure to check it out. I'm telling you, the homes, once you see them on the inside, you understand why people buy these houses, and they're at great prices too. All right, now let's move on over to the Coves at Lakes of Cane Bay. The Coves was one of the very first luxury home neighborhoods with lake views, and it shows. I mean, some of these houses in there are absolutely incredible. You have to see the Coves. The colors in there are spectacular. I say it's like a small little Nexton. You know, it's kind of what it feels like if Nexton had a lake system running through it. So that's kind of what I describe the Coves as. Now, if you're somebody that's like, all right, Ryan, what do you got for the active adults? Like, who cares about all these family neighborhoods? We're retiring. All right, well, let's talk to you guys. Del Webb and Kay Hovnanian, Four Seasons, plus all new Summer Wind Crossing, which offers actually a hybrid living experience between the traditional 55 plus neighborhoods and the active adult community. It's not age restrictive there, so you can have, and it's not gated, so people can come and go as they would like. But all the active adult 55 plus neighborhoods, each neighborhood has its own amenities. So you're ensuring you're not having to share facilities with 10,000 other residents. You know, that's probably one of the things that I would say when I look at some of these communities that are only putting in one big amenity center for everybody. I'm like, boy, that's gonna be a lot of people visiting one place all at one time. You know, it's gonna be kind of like when you go on vacation to a resort, and it's like you got to get your towel and your stuff and get it on those chairs at a specific time. Otherwise, somebody else is going to come along and take like 18 damn chairs, and you're not going to get anything. And that's the reality. It happens. True life. All right, let's talk about housing options in resale and new construction. So there's a lot going on in Cane Bay. There's a lot of listings. 296 was the last time I checked. And if you're considering moving to Cane Bay, you have two main options. It's either resale homes or new construction. So I really want to break these down for you so you understand what your options are and why it's so important to kind of separate Cane Bay from all the other neighborhoods. So let's talk about resale homes. Resale homes in Cane Bay range for anywhere in the mid 300s to the 700s. And on the higher end, primarily in the Kay Hovnanian Four Seasons community, you'll even see some homes into, the 800s. That was the last one I looked at. But these homes feature beautiful designs in large spaces. And in the mid 300s, you can find homes around 1,800 to 2,000 square feet. Now, these homes are mostly going to be found in Pine Hills, Lindera Preserve, or Old Rice Retreat, Woodwinds, and even Pender Hills. So let's talk about mid-range resale homes, 300 to 500K. These homes typically feature anywhere from 3 to 4 bedrooms, 2 to 3.5 bathrooms, and 1,800 to 2,700 square feet. You'll find more traditional styles with vinyl siding in these neighborhoods like Pine Hills and Old Rice Retreat. These are really going to be the neighborhoods that are going to give you square footage, size, but not have hardy plank, right? So that's going to be the real big difference. All right, my high-end folks, let's talk about high-end resale homes, 500K to 700K. Boy, these homes often include upscale features such as double porches, hardy plank siding, over 3,000 plus square feet of living space, and things like maybe a 3-car garage, maybe lakefront property. So neighborhoods like Westlake, the Hammocks, the Coves, and even Waterside are going to have homes in these price points. Now let's talk about new construction homes. New construction is a significant part of the Cane Bay market, accounting for about 75% of sales. That's crazy. So prices for new homes range from anywhere from 300s to over 900,000 in the 55 plus communities. These homes vary in size from 1,500 square feet to 2,500 square feet. Builders like D.R. Horton and Lennar offer spec homes, while builders like Mungo and Beazer offer more custom options. The base price often increases with upgrades and lot selection, so it's something to keep in mind when you're doing a true to-be-built option. Now, the spec homes, builders like D.R. Horton and Lennar are going to offer them where the lot and options are already pre-selected, pre-included. You don't really get to change anything. The price you see is the price you get, which simplifies the buying process. So for a lot of folks who are like, hey, how much is this going to be at the end of the day? You have an exact number to reference. There's not going to be more than that. It's not going to be less than that. So just something to consider when you're looking at spec buying. Now, custom builds or true to-be-built options. For those wanting more personalized touch, custom build allows you to select a lot, finishes. However, this can come to an overall cost. You're gonna have the luxury of picking out your lot. So lot premiums can be anywhere from free all the way up to $50,000. And then sometimes your options, my buyers on average are anywhere between $40,000 to $60,000, depending on how crazy they go in the design center. I've had some clients do $80,000 in design center options. And I gotta be honest with you, a lot of it was stuff they could have done after they closed and had somebody come in and just do all that work. It would have probably been half the price. But having the builder do it, you're paying a premium. You're paying almost 2/3 of additional cost to have the builder do it generally. Let's talk about 55 plus active adult communities. Del Webb, Cape Hovnanian, Four Seasons are probably the two 55 plus communities in Cane Bay right now. They both have different ways of living because Del Webb is completely sold out, so it is strictly pre-owned. The older of the two communities, being Del Webb, offers more budget-friendly options. So generally you can find homes in there in the mid 300s to 400s. With homes designated for active adults, this community features a range of amenities, including clubhouse, fitness center, swimming pools, full-time fitness person, full-time activities director. And all of that is covered in your monthly HOA. Now, K. Hovnanian's Four Seasons, known for its luxurious homes and top-notch amenities, offers some of the most expensive homes in Cane Bay because you can deck these things out. The community features resort-style amenities, including a large clubhouse, fitness center, indoor and outdoor pools, and various social clubs, but not even that. It's essentially on an island. So the lake, the leg of the lake runs around the neighborhood. So to get onto the neighborhood, you actually take a bridge, and then other parts of the neighborhood, there's also other bridges, but everything is surrounded by the lake. So a lot of people have lakefront property and it is beautiful. So you can have a lakefront property, you can have 3,000 plus square feet in your home. You have all the social clubs, you've got a gated 24-hour secure gated community. I'm telling you, this is a neighborhood. If you're looking for 55 plus, do yourself a favor, put this on your list. It is definitely a community you're not gonna wanna miss. Now, let's talk about Summer Wind Crossing. So this is the hybrid community. This is a unique community because it blends traditional living with low maintenance lifestyle of a 55 plus, but there are no age restrictions. So all the homes are single story. You do have options to do a loft and an additional bedroom up there, but your HOA fees cover your lawn care and your exterior maintenance. So if you're someone that's 50s and you're like, hey, we like the idea of a 55, but we still have kids. We want people to come visit us. We want grandkids to come and stay for months on end. Nobody wants that. My own parents don't want that, okay? But I hear what you're saying, and it's all in good, you're thinking from your heart, and I get that. But if you go to some of the other 55 plus communities, you're gonna be restricted on what hours they can go to the pool, maybe how long they stay, things like that. So it's something to consider. That's why these hybrid communities, I think, are going to be really popular. Need a few more people to buy in there, and it's going to kick off. And once their amenities are in, because keep in mind, you're buying pre-amenity center right now, which means you're getting some of the better pricing in that neighborhood. So it's something to consider. If you're thinking 55, give me a call, 843-226-5535. You want to see any of these available properties in Cane Bay, so since we've been talking about these neighborhoods, you want to see any of them right now, go to buycanebay.com or go to buyfromrye.com. But buycanebay.com will take you right to the Cane Bay listings. So check them out. So why move to Cane Bay? One of the biggest draws to Cane Bay is the cost of living. The median home price is in the 400s, and with 1,000 homes selling each year, there's always something available. But not just the cost of living. The homes here, the insurance, the taxes in Berkeley County, everything is relatively inexpensive compared to the rest of the country and a lot of the parts of this state. So one of the key benefits, I would say, is just your overall cost of living. But then lifestyle. Cane Bay is great. You have 22 to 25 miles of active trailways that you can ride bikes, you can go golf karting, scootering, you can do really whatever you want. Go for a walk, run. They have a Cane Bay 5K every year. I mean, the 4th of July parades on the golf carts. Oh my goodness, the Halloween events that we have, the Christmas parade with Santa. Cane Bay has so much going on. It's like its own little city. And that's probably one of the key facts that I think a lot of people like about living in the neighborhood, is just that it's pretty great. It's pretty nice. In comparison to a lot of the other neighborhoods, it seems more established. It seems like it has more going on, and that's because it does. Yes, it's still building, but it just means that somebody who's buying into this neighborhood is going to come here and benefit from the years of things being built up over time. So it's definitely one of the big draws as to why people would want to live in Cane Bay. Okay, proximity to new job opportunities. So Cane Bay is ideal for those of you who are working in new industries such as Ridgeville, Volvo, the Walmart distribution plant, Redwood Materials. Maybe you're just commuting over to the Google data center over in Moncks Corner. Summerville just has so much more. In that little area where Cane Bay sits, you're so close to Moncks Corner. You're so close to Ridgeville. You're so close to downtown Summerville. It's just like it's parked in the perfect location if you're going to commute. Yeah, it takes a little bit longer than Nexton and some of the other communities like Karns Crossroads to get to the 26. But with the additional roadways being put in and things like that, I'm going to assume that the traffic issues that we're experiencing now because we have growing pains will eventually kind of get better with time, and as they include more roadways and areas to access the 26, which are constantly being in development. Now let's talk about shopping and dining options. For shopping and dining, Cane Bay has plenty to offer. They have their Publix anchored shopping center. I feel like that's been here before the neighborhood. It's an amazing shopping center. It's just the right size for the neighborhood. I'm so happy that they have now opened Harris Teeter in Nexton, because that has taken a lot of the pressure off of Publix. And so now Publix is not as busy as it once was. The center includes the grocery shopping store. Then you have the Chick-fil-A right outside of that. Plus you have several other restaurants. You have your Chinese restaurant. Famularies is just about to put back in a new restaurant and eatery there. You also have the Rio Chico, the Mexican. And then, you know, when you start talking about the retail, you've got some great little shops in there. You have a chiropractor in there. You have your liquor store in there. So again, it's just got a little bit of everything. It's all your essentials. You got a tax person in there, insurance, you name it. So again, if you're moving to Cane Bay and you don't really want to leave the neighborhood because you want everything right there, it's really a great spot. Now let's talk about Nexton Square. Just a short drive away, Nexton Square offers a variety of dining options, halls, Bad Daddy's Burger Bar. I mean, God, it's so much. I mean, Page's, Okra's right there. Oh, God, so many good restaurants. And the best part is they've got these cool little shops. They got a cigar shop there. I mean, it really is a fantastic area to go and just kind of hang out on a Friday afternoon or evening. Now, let's talk about Karns Crossroads. It's another nearby commercial area and community with more shopping, dining, and healthcare services. My neighbor is actually opening the 2-story rooftop restaurant, bar, and brewery there called Neighborhood Tap House. It's going to be Neighborhood Tap House at Carnes Crossroads. It's part of Uptown Carnes. I've been talking about Uptown Carnes for a while. I can't wait to get some new drone. I'm waiting for them to do some landscaping so I can get some new drone footage over there. I think it's gonna be a really cool area you're gonna wanna know all about. And again, you're right close by being in Cane Bay. You're minutes away from all of this. So let's talk about healthcare facilities. Healthcare is another important option, especially when you're considering Cane Bay. Cane Bay is close to the Roper St. Francis Hospital, which is currently expanding to include more emergency beds. MUSC is also planning a new facility in Nexton, right behind the 55 plus community, over there by their Del Webb, and that is going to be coming in 2025. So ensuring residents have access to top-notch medical care is important, and it's all coming. Plus you have the Summerville Medical, you have tons and tons of emergency cares nearby. So if it's not an emergency, but you need some immediate care, well, they've got them nearby. Recreational opportunities are also another big thing to consider when you're considering Cane Bay, because outdoor enthusiasts absolutely love the 25-mile trail system connecting all of the neighborhoods. Who'd have thunk it, right? And schools. That's probably the cool part, is you can get on the trail system, whether you're on a golf cart, bike, walking, and you can go all the way to the schools, to the grocery store, back to your house, all via trail system. The Cane Bay Family YMCA is actually one of the largest in the state at 54,000 square feet. It's the second largest on the East Coast, with a public library with partnership of Berkeley County right there in the YMCA. So if you got little ones, you want to go to the library with them, well, you got your Berkeley County Library right there in the neighborhood. All right, now let's talk about schools in Cane Bay. So Cane Bay is home to its own school, Cane Bay Elementary, Cane Bay Middle, and Cane Bay High School, all highly rated on niche.com. There's a couple of few other websites that have differentiating opinions. Do your due diligence. If you're gonna move here, at least check them out. It's just important to note that not all neighborhoods are zoned for these schools. And I know that might be a head turn. You might go, huh? What do you mean, Ryan? I live in Cane Bay, but my kid doesn't go to Cane Bay school. That's exactly the backwoods kind of dumb shit. I don't get it. I really don't. I've been here for a while. I have asked this question, like, why has this happened? Like, why? And I get the craziest answers. Nobody really can tell me. This is the way it's zoned. Nothing we can tell you. Okay, but some of these neighborhoods are on my list. So if you're thinking of moving to Cane Bay and you're like, Ryan, we're so pumped to have our kids go to Cane Bay schools, guess what? Parts of the neighborhood might not be zoned for Cane Bay. So some of these sections are Lindera Preserve, okay? Depends on what street you live on, and I'm not joking. You can live on one side of the street and be zoned Cane Bay, the other side of the street and not be zoned Cane Bay. It's stupid. All right, so Ryan, everything can't be perfect in Cane Bay, right? Like, it's not all perfect. No, it's not. In fact, it's far from it. So while Cane Bay has many, many positives, it's important to consider the location. So if you're someone who's gonna work downtown Charleston, you can expect a 45-minute commute without traffic, which can extend to an hour and a half during rush hour. However, if you're working locally in Ridgeville, the commute is significantly shorter and not as bad. I will say this as well. The other issue is that Cane Bay's roadways, there's only one two-way road that runs through the neighborhood. So let's talk about that. If you have an accident, somebody's turning left, and there's traffic coming the other way for a long time, you may see some bottlenecking. The roundabout is absolutely a dangerous place, and the state police differ from the local municipality on who is in the right and who is in the wrong. So do not get into an accident in our roundabout, because you'll probably end up having to pay the other person. That's just how it works here. And the other thing to really, really consider is just that sometimes it can take you a little bit to get into the neighborhood, especially if you're not using the back entrance or some of the newer entrances that have initially especially some of the new entrances that have popped up or will be popping up. All right, let's talk about community events and lifestyle. So Cane Bay hosts various community events throughout the year, fostering a strong sense of community. I mean, it's probably one of the big reasons why I have so many folks that move into Cane Bay is just they love the community feeling. It's very palatable, and you just kind of get along with everybody, from holiday celebrations to farmers markets to food truck rodeos. There's always something happening, and it's all to bring residents together. And that's probably one of the biggest things that'll lead me into the next topic, is talking about safety and security. Safety is another key aspect to Cane Bay's appeal. The community is patrolled by local law enforcement, and a lot of them live here too. That's the other great part. Many neighborhoods have their own security measures in place, such as gated entrances, neighborhood watch programs. You just have this really sense of community, but also it makes you feel like you're secure. Cane Bay offers a very diverse range of housing options and amenities, making it very attractive. So no matter what community you're looking at, you're probably going to find something you like, or maybe you don't like. It just has beautiful homes with top-rated schools and numerous recreational opportunities. And here's the other great tidbit. Since you stayed till the end, I'm going to tell you something. Cane Bay is putting an all-new school at the back entrance of the neighborhood, right across the street. This is where they're going to build a whole new school. It's going to be a Berkeley school. It's for Cane Bay, and it is going to help with the massive overflow that we currently have and some of the backlogging that we're seeing because Cane Bay is getting so big and we're just zoned. So a lot of that zoning issue is going to get cleared up in the next couple of years because they got the new school coming, which I am super pumped about. So again, when you see things and negative comments, just know that sometimes it might be growing pains of the neighborhood, but it's really no wonder why Cane Bay is still one of the best selling master plan communities in the entire country. Number 4, I think that's high five to that. So if you live here, you should be pretty proud and happy. And guys, if you could do me a favor, if you're even thinking of moving here and you got it planned, or you're moving here in the next few months and you know it, do me a favor and reach out. Give me a call, 843-226-5535. My name is Ryan McHugh. I am your neighborhood expert. I cover everything there is to know about Summerville, Charleston, and the surrounding parts. But most importantly, I've done this as well. My family and I relocated here, and I know what it takes, and I know these neighborhoods. So if you're looking for a great neighborhood like Cane Bay, I can help you as well. Again, Ryan McHugh, 843-226-5535. Want to see available properties now? Go to www.buyfromry.com, and I'll see you guys on the next one.